All right, welcome back. It's late September 1863, and we'll start off in Kentucky. Here are how things stand after the massive Union movement in the last term. Um, as was noted, we captured about 27,000 prisoners, and I think they suffered um, probably about another 40,000 casualties. So I get confused whether the prisoners numbers are included in casualties or not. I don't actually think they are, but if someone can clarify that, that would be great. Um, Looks like they have about 8 divisions remaining here, and then there's the weakened force here. Grant, interestingly, is sort of out here. He was actually moving in this direction. Not exactly sure why. So Grant doesn't actually have a main force in him. In addition, it looks like there's a reserve division back here, and then another reserve division farther back. This is still a pretty powerful force, although it seems that they are giving us misinformation. So I considered railing into Bowling Green and doing another massive assault, but I've decided against it and will hold this new line in northern Virginia. There's a lot of movement here, but basically, um, what's happened is Jackson's army and Polk's force are remaining here. Breckinridge will also remain here, and General Gardner will arrive in 2 days with a division. What's happening is we're doing some promotions, so Cheatham is getting promoted, and Hardee this turn. And they'll eventually be able to take over corps here in Nashville and Fort Henry. Unfortunately, we do have a few forces besieged here that we're going to lose. So Lee will try to escape and eventually form a division here in Fort Donelson. Keyes Corps did not move last time, which kind of surprised me, or as well as Pope's Corps as well. There are also a couple more divisions up here in Cairo, sort of in reserve. I assumed they were going to move on AP Hill's position, but that was not the case. Our fleet suffered some pretty heavy damage due to hitting some mines, as you can see. There's some damage here, a couple of those, and there's a little more damage here. So we're actually going to have to head back to Memphis to begin to repair those. Farther west, I'm going to send Shelby on to Lexington on a conservative assault to hopefully defeat the militia unit there and capture the depot. There is a Union force here in Centerville, but I don't think it's cavalry, so I don't think they're going to be able to get to us. As you can see there's mud between us and Lexington. Interestingly, they've currently mostly abandoned Fayetteville. I don't quite understand that. They are supplied, as you can see here, and so I'm going to send Contrail over to get a better look. Maybe they've just decided to give up on Arkansas, although that is a strategic town, so I'm kind of surprised they didn't leave a division there. Baylor's force is going to try to assault Fort Laramie, and so what I'm doing is I'm basically bringing in all of our dispersed Indian and cavalry units in the area to one region where Van Dorn can take over and begin to assault some of these other forts. Out in Virginia, nothing too much happening really to speak of. There's still the Sabre Brigade, which we're targeting. The last thing that could be interesting is I have Johnston on attack again, hoping that we can capture the rest of these 4 divisions. Johnston's force is in pretty good shape now, as you can see. Finally, there are a couple militia units that have been formed in Union militia units that have been formed in Texas. So we're going to continue. We're going to try to assault Dallas again, and we're going to send a small force from Galveston to begin to defeat these. As far as our replacements, we need a lot of them, and we don't actually have enough money. But you can see we are still doing a lot more recruitment, and here's how our replacements look. we're getting 8 line infantry this time. So, yeah. All right, well, let's go back to Kentucky, and we'll run the turn and see what happens. Okay, so a little bit of action. Let's start off here down in Florida. Actually, nothing happened. The Union is still there, as you can see. They're down to half supply, though. I had put up our locked militia unit, and they were defeated, but Johnston actually didn't come to battle. There were no battles in Texas, and kind of some interesting things have happened out here, and in Missouri, Shelby has arrived, as you can see, but there is, well, basically there was no battle. In addition, the large Union force has moved between us, so I'll have to consider what to do. One option might be to begin to move on Jefferson here, or perhaps one of the stockades. There's a large force here in Springfield, and the weather is now clear, so I'll have to think about what to do. Basically, the Union is all over the map. As you can see, at least for the time being, there's not much of a force in Fayetteville, and it looks like the Union has actually completely abandoned, and all that's left is a garrison. The big movement is there was a battle in Columbus, and we actually lost it. Let's kind of zoom in on it. Well, first of all, we did win in Fort Laramie, and they are now, there's just a small force left. And actually, interesting. That was a 1 national morale victory. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, so here's the battle in. Well, first of all, the Polish unit was defeated, and then here was the other battle. So casualties are pretty even. So Union did a good job. We still are in possession of our trenches in the town, so that is one plus. And the other plus is our sharpshooter unit has arrived, but the Union is still there, and we also have some more forces behind us, as you can see there. The Union was able to destroy the railroad here, and we were unable to bring it to battle. Wow, that's it's a pretty big force there. Here is the Union. So here's the Union force. It's power of about 5,000 in Bowling Green, with Grant bringing up in the rear here in Barron, Kentucky. Otherwise, there wasn't really too much other action. The Union is still loose here, although it's pretty small. They have actually taken over Charlottesville, though, which is a strategic town. So, okay, let's see if there are any messages. So, kind of a quiet turn after a very, very, very busy turn. Okay, so the United States has made a bunch of decisions. Oh, here we go. They did surrender to us here, so that's good. Okay, so a lot of movement. Okay, so our cottonclads are now ready. Oh, in addition, the fleet has arrived, so that's a big. The fleet was able to make it without So we'll have to begin to repair the fleet. Okay, that's pretty much it. So a bit of a quiet turn. I'll have to consider what to do with Key's force here. We took some pretty heavy casualties in some of these, so it might actually make sense to send 8P Hill up here to reinforce Johnston. Here's what it looks like in Fort Henry. Here, as you can see, the forces have arrived, and here's both Polk's and Jackson's forces, which are getting in better shape, definitely. So, okay, that's pretty much it. So, all right, we will see you next time.